Bonjour. Welcome to another back issue haul, courtesy of Paul at Comics and Fantasy in Hornchurch, Essex, and Jamie and his faithful assistant Lizzie at New Dawn Comics, Rayleigh, also in Essex. So we will do Paul's first from Comics and Fantasy. Got some odd buds here, but I think some interesting stuff. First up, couple of odd buds. I am a sucker for Ghost Rider and all the 70s Marvel horror stuff. So it was nice to see that in a collection he just bought in. Nothing of note. You don't see him around. And again with Man Thing, again they're just not £1,000,000. But it was unusual to see John Buscema on the artwork in that, and he's on the artwork in one of the other, and it's always a nothing of note in this one, except for who remembers when they done a whole month. I think I've seen someone on Threads, and hello if you're over here from Threads, by the way, guys, you know I love you all, as well as my sexy subscribers, obviously. I'll have to do a scale of how much love I can give in order. But you know, if you're here, doesn't matter wherever you're from, give me a like, subscribe if you like what I'm waffling about. But yes, they did. I think it was on Threads where someone said they'd collected the whole set, you know, for no reason, but except collecting comics, which is a good reason overall, isn't it? This was the other John Buscema I was waffling about. This was a weird little set, just 4 issues, Mephisto. And John Buscema could draw him up. I forget who wrote it now, but they really hammed it up, really went to town with Mephisto. I mean, you've got Fantastic Four, X-Men and Avengers in a 4-issue miniseries. And X Factor. So, you know, I just find it so much fun, these little miniseries, and you know what I'm like by now. You know, you've got all the heavy hitters. Oh yeah, and X Factor in a 4-issue miniseries. So yeah, all drawn by John, but you know, as always, beautifully by John Buscema, and Mephisto dragging everyone down to hell. And if it was that easy, I don't know why he didn't do it all the time. Anyway, you'll have to read it to find out. Then also, just like last week, just this era of Captain America, there was nothing really to write home about, guys. In this era, it really was a bit of a, for me, you know, these late 300s, early, well, yeah, for a long while. But I can't have these gaps. You know, I suppose Magneto in there would liven it up for the month, the sales figures. But I mean, it did limp on. It did limp on for years and years, didn't it? But Paul's just got this in and done me a nice deal on a whole run of them. Because it's not a run that, unless it kind of turns up, it isn't really something that I would go to the marketplace in conventions or the comic marts. This isn't something I'm gonna, because you need to pick up, like I've done here, 20, 30 at a time, and I don't know, it's just not the kind of stuff, unless you're really in the mood for a dollar bin raid. But especially when I go to the American, obviously I've got to bring them all home in the cases, so I don't often do the dollar bins, unless it hasn't been a very good. That's a nice cover, and it's got everyone there. It's got Bullseye in it. Oh look, Daredevil, Bullseye, Crossbone, Kingpin. Oh, it's all kicking off in that one. What's that called? Streets of Poison. Another Streets of Poison there storyline. So yeah, I mean, Enter Nefarious. Yeah, you know, I haven't gone through these yet. I'll be honest with you all. Chances of me having a good read through these are slim. This isn't one of the runs I'm gonna. But it isn't. I just like. I want the whole run. I mean, I've even discovered in my collection outside, and I'll have to show them up 4 Golden Age Captain Americas that I've forgotten I had. Yes, forgotten. Buried in the US Agent era. You know, so yeah, there's a couple more. Good old Modok. Oh, he's one of my favourite characters of all time. No, there's nothing really. There's a few more here. I mean, issue 400. Really, really nice condition. Double sized. And 401. Yes, we're talking about, yeah, it is the 90s, the wilderness that was the 90s. It's because everyone cleared off to Image, wasn't it? And then just a little find from my piles, if you cast your eyes over there and, well, and behind me, actually. I'm not down there, it's just graphic novels. So, yeah, all over that way. This set that I picked up from Paul ages ago, but I just recently found it. And it was, for me, this was, I mean, lovely David Finch covers on all of these that link, because this was, Messiah Complex was obviously across all of the different, you know, that was Uncanny X-Men. What one was that? That was just obviously in the X-Men when they had 100 titles. But this for me, I was got old X Factor again. But great covers as always, by David Finch. And some really great interior artwork as well. I mean, Mark Silvestri in that one with a Dave Finch cover. I mean, you ain't getting no better than that, is it? Billy Tan in that one, another fantastic David Finch cover. Scott Eaton. I mean, Scott Eaton compared to all the others. I mean, I don't know if he's had a massive career in comics. He's not really a name. Sorry, not I recognise. And then we got Humberto Ramos. The new X-Men. So this is obviously every issue of all the tie-ins, but done with a variant cover. Not much for one of the variant, you know. I love the artwork, but I'm not going to get. I'd rather buy more comics, and that's how I keep control of it, because I do. You know, I love the artwork, but I just can't get into variants as well. I can't do it. So what I say to myself, the way I manage it, is that another beautiful cover, and this is the story. The story is all about this baby. If you're not, and this for me. But anyway, variants. Yeah, I'll just say to myself, I'd rather have more comics to read, rather than just one comic with 10 covers or 6. On the odd occasion, I'll get 2. But this for me, this storyline was, and it's just my pure personal opinion, I think this was the last time, this was just before the X-Men went completely off the scale and everywhere. And it was something impenetrable. It was across so many titles, so many characters, so many storylines, so many crossovers, so convoluted. You know, it went beyond half a dozen characters in a little soap opera. I know you can't keep that going for decades, don't get me wrong, but you did have 6 or 7 titles. So, my God, you must be able to weave something between them. But no, anyway, that's just my little personal opinion. I think this is a great cover. See, that's the X-Men I love. That's X-Men for me. And I know that's old-fashioned now. You know, you've got to have 800 of them all on an island, living in peace and harmony. Lol. But anyway, I just thought this was a little find. New X-Men. Nice, lovely artwork, as always, by David Finch. And here's the last issue, chapter 13. Chris Bachalo artwork inside as well, look, lovely. What was that, 2008, 2009, I think, that mini-series. Love it. And they was all in order, wasn't they? I made sure, because Jamie found it highly hilarious. Jamie from New Dawn Comics in Rayleigh in Essex, he found it highly hilarious last week when I got all his Marvel team-ups in the wrong way, and I said I was going to do it all in order. So I've just double-checked them. You know why? Because I went from this number 87, and then suddenly, because I've got in between this one and number 119, I suddenly thought I was going to have to redo this video. It's just because you, Jamie, are scaring me, right? You make me nervous. Anyway, you know, I love you now, I'm only joking. I have been enjoying, I've reached the end of my Marvel team-up journey. Don't worry, I've tons of Defenders and Avengers that he's very kindly doing me a layaway scheme for. But I've reached the end to my Marvel team-ups, man. And I've got to admit, I'm going to miss Dominic Fortune. I mean, I remember Howard Chaykin did. But was it from? Yeah, I think it was. Yeah, it must have been from Marvel because he's inspired. He's in Spider-Man team-up. But Howard Chaykin was the only reason that anyone lists Dominic Fortune in their top 300 characters, Marvel characters. But after issue 100 or so, it was it was wavering. You know, it's just the completist in me that wants the whole run. I would say those first 100 issues would be like Marvel 2-in-1. You know, it was 100 issues long, 101 when it went on for. But it was really, you could tell it's really running out of steam. Even J.M. DeMatteis storylines couldn't kind of spark up any. But there is some fun to be had though. Early John Romita Jr. cover there with kind of like cross-hatching that you didn't see until Frank Miller done Ronin about 40 years later, or 30 years later. So that's a weird one. A bit of experimentation there. Oh, it's Terry Austin as well in the ink, so it must have been Romita Jr. That isn't Austin's style. That is John Romita Jr. having a little cross-hatch frenzy. But you know, this is what I'm talking about when I'm saying they're loads of fun. Look, Frogman. And if you're wondering where they got the idea from in that awful She-Hulk TV show, apologies if you liked it. I didn't. But anyway, Frogman, that's where they got the character from. Difference being, this is in one throwaway comic issue from the 80s. Anyway, it's a happy place. Teamed him up with Mr. Fantastic, why? Don't know. But like I say, and then Fantastic Four, you know, next month. So you can see, I'd rather have Frogman back, to be fair. Jack of Hearts, which was a very interesting character at the time, I thought, that they didn't make a lot of, but obviously were really trying to, or I say they weren't trying to make of, they were trying to make a lot of him, but I don't think people were buying it. That's why he would turn up. He had his 4-issue miniseries that I think I'd done a few weeks ago. Obviously, whacking an X-Men, X-Man, X-Woman, and sales will increase. Wonder Man, he was never the most exciting of characters, was he? So that would have been a month where that might have been the most exciting issue, will it? And this is the one. This is the highlight of post-issue 100 Marvel team-ups, and I hope you're ready for this one. Aunt May. Marvel team-up. Aunt May. Franklin Richards and versus Galactus. Look at Aunt May. What? I can't wait to read this one. Can't wait. I might do a completely separate review. You know, like how I do the Apex editions for an hour and a half? I think I might do that. Just read it on camera. I know I am only joking, by the way, so don't roll your eyes, everyone. And then, you know, just rolling towards the end. You know, we are really Sandman. Here's Nick Fury. Nice. I quite like this cover, but it's Klaus Jansson's inking. It's not necessarily Hannigan's art. It's you can see where I've got Klaus Jansson doing inking Frank Miller's Daredevil around. It would have been around that era, wouldn't it? Or no, it might have been a bit earlier. But anyway, around that time. Captain Marvel. What one we got there? Oh, we've got the Monica Rambeau version. Yay. Moment. I mean, after Aunt May and Franklin Richards versus Galactus, I mean, how was they ever going to follow that? Really, they should have. Good old Human Torch was always in there, wasn't he? Thor. I do like the cover with Spidey trying to hang on to the hammer. I do like that. Cannonball from New Mutants. So they're obviously, you know, thinking. And then the end of the line, everyone. The end of Marvel team-up fun with a beautiful, as always, Barry Windsor Smith cover. Unfortunately, no, because I did open this up eagerly. And no, it isn't on the interior artwork. But it's double paged special. Nice Barry Windsor Smith cover. And that was the end of an era. So I've had a lot of fun collecting them. So thanks ever so much, Jamie and Lizzie, and for those. But obviously I've got loads more to pick up. And that brings us to the end of this week's back issue haul. Just as I was literally, thank you for joining me this far. If you've listened to my waffle this far and looked at my little pickups, but just before I pressed record on the camera, I got these little beauties in from eBay, the whole set. But we're going to go through them separately. But that's just a little teaser. I'm absolutely over the moon with these. And I've got to say, the entire collection, thanks to the guy I bought them off of, they're all in near mint. I don't know what numbers you'd call that, but every single one is spot on. So I am well excited. They've just come in from America. So all sent copies, all in near mint, the whole run, including annuals and the special. So anyway, I will leave it there, gang. Thank you so much as always. You know what I'm going to say. Love you all, you sexy subscribers. You know I do. Thank you for getting more involved. I know I beg you every week. Just give me a little comment. Just say, enjoyed the vid. Give me a thumbs up. Because do you know what I've noticed? It really, really, really does help with those old algorithms to pick it up and put it where it needs to be. It just helps. I think the amount of comments and likes on a video help. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you how the YouTube algorithm works. But anyway, I love you all if you have been doing all of that. Thumbs, comments, subscribing especially. And until next week, adios.